Hello, and welcome to R&R's Ask the Expert. I'm your host, Valerie King, R&R's editor-in-chief, and I'm joined today by Jay Stake, president of Indoor Air Quality Association, also known as IAQA for short. Our topic of discussion today is the upcoming IAQA 2022 Annual Meeting and Expo, which is set for February 22nd through 25th at the Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa in Tucson, Arizona. Thanks for joining me to share a preview of what's to come, Jay, and also shout out to that suit jacket.
Thank you, Valerie. Good morning. And
Yes,
thank you very much for inviting me to participate in this discussion.
absolutely. And for those of you who are listening and not watching the video version of this, Jay is wearing a suit jacket that has a pattern on it with the IAQA logo and IAQA covering it. It's awesome. So, all right.
And if you go to our Facebook page, there's several pictures of me with different people in it.
There you go. Go to the IAQA Facebook page and you can see it for yourself. All right. Okay, let's dive in. The first question, let's set the stage. For those who aren't familiar, can you start talking a little bit about what IAQA is and, its history and mission?
Okay, IAQA was founded back in 1995 when mold was gold in that era. And it started developing, it really grew. It was basically the education founder in our industry. Then in 2004, IAQA and IESO, which is the Indoor Environmental Standards Organization, and the American Indoor Air Quality Council all joined. They unified. Then in 2009, the American Indoor Air Quality Council, we deunified, left us, and they became ACAC, the accreditation part of our industry. And so IAQA absorbed IESO, which was the standards writing body of IAQA. And we're the only trade organization in the indoor air quality arena that connects all parts of the industry to collaborate and grow. Our membership is 40% consultants, 40% contractors, and 20% other, which is academia, laboratories, government, students, etc. And it's comprised of individuals and companies, including contractors, consultants, facility management, maintenance professionals, researchers, industry vendors, school officials, representative from local, state, and federal and tribal government agencies. And I thought this was a neat statistic. Currently, women make up about 14% of our membership, which, yeah, people, just don't pay attention. And we are in a male dominated industry. So, and then we get into our mission statement. The Indoor Air Quality Association is the leading organization dedicated to developing, educating, and supporting our multiple disciplinary membership to identify and resolve indoor environmental challenges, which then leads us into our vision statement, which is very simple: to elevate the relevancy and credibility of all Indoor Air Quality Association members as a professional in the eyes of the consumer and the industry. And if you look before what I stated about our membership, 40% contractors, 40% consultants, 20%. It takes both all of these and it starts blending them all in together, because one really can't survive without the other.
Very helpful. So, yeah, nice healthy range of contractor, consultant, like you said, and other. Homing in on that contractor side, especially, the R&R audience is consisting of restoration and remediation contractors largely. Uh, how would you say, what's the value prop for them in terms of membership with IAQA or just, being involved in events you serve?
Okay, as an organization, IAQA is a multifaceted organization. You have an organization like RIA, which is the Association for the Restoration Industry. You have NACA, which is the Association for Duct Cleaners. You have EIA, which is the Association for the Asbestos Industry. And as I stated before, we're a multidisciplinary association and play an integral part of the restoration industry. And as I stated before, 40% of our members are consultants. And we work hand in hand with the remediation restoration contractors. Consultants, we're the professionals who confirm that a project has been properly remediated and assist in the restoration contractors in resolving the problems. And we make sure the contractors adhere to the S500, the S520 standard. We help develop the protocols, containments, etc. And that's what makes IAQA so unique, the wide variety makeup of our membership. We also serve as a resource for the consumer, the end user. Use of our Find the Pro website helps them, put themselves in contact with a professional in the indoor air quality arena. Now, in the indoor air quality arena, I don't just talk about consultants. It is very much a part of the contractors because myself, as a consultant, I don't care what I do. If that contractor doesn't do a good job, nobody wins. It's just, so it's really up to the contractors to make everybody shine in this process.
Thank you. Awesome. All right. Now on to the IAQA Annual Meeting and Expo, which brought us together for this interview. Who should attend this event?
Ah, that's a loaded question. No, anybody who's associated in our industry or who is thinking about getting into our industry. Um, the 2022 IAQ annual meeting is the opportunity to access unparalleled technical education, top-notch networking, and a program that is more robust than ever with many new speakers this year. I think in all the years, this is probably one of the best programs we've had. And I got to really hand it to Mark Schwann and Stanley Oskowski. They were the co-chairs for the conference committee, and they did an outstanding job. I mean, a lot of hard work. And then with it, you join the colleagues for the multidisciplinary event dedicated to bringing together contractors, consultants, and other professionals across the entire spectrum of the indoor air quality industry. Like I said before, most people, when you say indoor air quality, they think of consultants, but it isn't just consultants. It's the laboratories, it's the contractors. And as I said, consultants can do so much, but it's the contractors who make us shine. When they do an excellent job and you go in, it's just, hey, it's clean, everybody wins. And who knows? When you're there, you may meet new friends. I know for myself, over the years, I've met a lot of good people and lifelong friends through the conferences.
Thank you. Could you give us a preview of learning opportunity highlights for those, especially restoration and remediation contractors who plan on attending?
Okay, I'm going to break that into like two different parts. What they're going to learn and what they're going to gain from attending. And then I'm going to get into the educational part of it. The education and networking program, or the education program networking opportunities, like I said before, they're unparalleled in the industry, and we have to cater to all facets, not like RIA or NACA or EIA. We have to hit every facet of the industry, and we have sessions covering topics from chemical contaminants, remediation and restoration, infectious disease, regulations and standards, building management, and so much more. The conference has basically something for everybody from the seasoned indoor air quality professional. And in that little indoor air quality professional, I include contractors and everybody in that, and those new to our industry. And then you get in to the actual sessions. We have 43 speakers this year, 42 sessions, 9 different tracks. That's a lot. And our conference starts the 22nd and it goes to the 25th. The 22nd is workshops. But we have a track, remediation and restoration. We have a track on mold and bacteria, health and wellness, building science, infectious disease, building management, chemical contaminants, business management, and then we have a category listed other that just touch on different things. And out of these 42, there are 15 directly related to the restoration remediators industry. That's not to say that all the other sessions don't pertain, because our membership, remember, is the 40-40-20. And all of our industries are so interrelated, intertwined. What affects a consultant affects a contractor. And what affects a contractor affects a consultant. And with the sessions on assessors, restoration people can see how jobs are assessed to see what's new coming down the pike and what new systems are to be put in place in the indoor air quality part of their jobs.
Very good. All right. So now that we've had a sense of the educational opportunities available to attendees, could you talk a little bit more specifically? I noticed you're partnering with the American BioRecovery Association. What's that about?
Okay, yeah, I'm excited about that. I mean, I know a lot of the guys, we have crossover membership and everything. And, it's just neat. First, let's define what biorecovery is. You know, they're the CSI, they're the crime cleanup people. Biorecovery is the act of assessing risk, mitigating threats, and remediating conditions resulting from the release of biological hazards. They are one of 7 associations that belong to the Allied Industry Partners. IAQA, the Indoor Air Quality Association; ABRA, the American BioRecovery Association; ACGIH, American Conference of Governmental Industrial Hygienists; AIHA, American Industrial Hygiene Association; BHA, Basement Health Association; EIA, the Environmental Information Association; and NADCA, National Air Duct Cleaners Association. We all signed an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, at our 25th anniversary IAQs in 2020 at our conference. ABRA is a great association, as of all the Allied Industry Partners are, and they're very specialized in what they do. I mean, if you take their class of members to IAQA, some of theirs bleed over. It's just they're very specialized, just like the other ones I mentioned. And they came to us a year ago and asked if they could join our conference as a cost saving plan to their members. And it just, to me, seems like a good fit. If we can help people and help another association, let's lock and load. Let's do it.
Awesome. The theme continues collaboration and integrating different
Yep.
specific disciplines that all fit under that indoor air quality umbrella. Great. Okay. So I also understand you're offering pre conference workshops. You alluded to workshops earlier. Can you elaborate a bit on that? What can attendees expect there?
Okay. There's 3 different workshops there. One is practical mold assessments by Mike Meyer and Martin Schwann. And that is an 8-hour workshop. And they're going to offer practical information based on more than 30 years experience at thousands of mold assessments. They're going to have the workshop will include mold and moisture basics, use of moisture meters, infrared, visible and airborne mold, types of tests, common problems, and many case histories, including health, pre-sale, water damage, cleanup, which we'll get into, you know, the contractors, and post cleanup verification. Next one will be a forensic water damage and mold assessments insight to conducting a defensible assessment by Jeremy Beagle and Richard Price. And that's a half day session. And on it, there's more to a mold and water damage and collecting samples and providing a remediation protocol, determining the origin, the cause, and in some cases, the time frame for water damage or conditions resulting in mold growth. Or it's just to provide a practical approach in conducting a forensic water damage mold assessment with the tools and insight to navigate today's challenges in a litigious environment. Then the third one, the ABCs of VOCs, and this is put on, that's a half day class, and this is by Luke von Oldenburg, and it's a concentrated course for the practitioner performing a residential VOC assessment. We'll look at the definitions, standards, sampling tools, and data results and interpretations. And, excuse me, they will understand the uses and limitations of various sampling techniques. They will have access to the EPA standards for data comparisons. And they will get an understanding of the laboratory requirements, limitations, and learn how to read raw analytical data.
So, I of course want to ask, with the event being back in person, what's the planning looked like? What measures regarding COVID-19 can attendees expect?
Okay, we at IAQA will, continue to closely monitor the coronavirus pandemic, for any changes. The health and safety and well-being of our community is the highest priority. By registering for the IAQA 2022 Annual Meeting and Expo, attendees agree to adhere to current CDC guidelines and IAQA's COVID-19 additional prevention protocols, which may include, but not limited to, daily temperature and health checks, as well as social distancing. And the current policy right now at the Westin La Paloma is fully vaccinated guests are no longer required to wear face coverings or social distance in indoor or outdoor areas of the hotel. The hotel asks that all unvaccinated guests continue to wear face coverings and practice social distancing when they are in a public space inside the hotel.
Thank you for that. All right, big question here. Where can listeners go if they'd like to learn more about this event that's coming up and register?
Okay, they can go to www.iaqa.org and it'll pop right up on the main screen when you go to there. And then you can go to the registration page and you can just go to the general information and it'll go through. You can check, the speakers, the exhibitors, anything like that. We do have a couple spots left in our exhibition hall. So, you know, always looking for more.
Thank you. All right, before we go, I would love to ask you about the indoor air quality space overall, as well as IAQA focus areas in 2022. So, first, what would you say some of the new and notable initiatives IAQA has planned for this year are?
This year is going to be big. Um, we're going to be adding at least two more smart badges. And by the smart badges, that's an acronym for science, methodology, assessment, remediation, and technology. We have four badges right now, and one's for building science, one's for healthy homes, mold assessment, and HVAC. We're raising the bar in the industry with our education. Last year, we developed all new membership categories. We have the individual, corporate levels 1, 2, and 3. We added a new membership, retiree. We have individual government, student, developing economies, and we're also right now looking and developing a sponsorship level membership. And we changed our membership this year to go from January 1st to December 31st. for the renewal. That way, it's on a calendar year and it just makes life easier for everybody else. We started a scholarship and charity task force. We're going to be announcing our first scholarship winners at our conference. And we're looking at different charities that we're going to be getting involved. We just reactivated the Government Affairs Committee to streamline it. We got a new software where we can track all the pending state legislations, and that will be available for our members. We're going to be restructuring the Find a Bro for our members, along with making it more friendly for the consumer. And the biggest thing, is we're going to be releasing the standard for the assessment of educational facilities for moisture affected areas and fungal contamination. We're going to be developing an educational program for that. So we're just getting back to the basics, give our members what they want: education, training, and benefits. We're going to be expanding our global footprint through international chapters and returning. And since this COVID seems to be winding down, where our chapters will be able to get more active again and be able to meet face to face.
Well, that is quite the list. Much in store to your point. Big year ahead.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
is. And I'm excited about it. I'm
Yes,
really excited about it.
it's great. All right. Broadening the viewpoint, can you talk a little bit about the state of the indoor air quality industry? Any predictions or trends that come to mind?
Yeah, we're doing great. With everything that's gone around, I think it has brought indoor air quality up to the forefront. People are spending more time at home. Um, who was it? I think the Wall Street Journal did a study, and people were spending 30 or 35% more time in their homes, which they never noticed different odors or different things going on in their home. So we're just looking at any and everything to make IAQA the premier association. And that gets back to what I said before: the education, the training, all of that. And, what I do is I ask anybody, if you have an idea, say it. It doesn't matter how trivial you might think it is, or, it's not worth mentioning. No, it's just like back in the, what was it, the 70s or whatever? The guy says, I have a pet rock. And it just, boom, exploded. You know, uh, myself, and IAQ need help from all of you to grow and better serve you and your customers. And that's the whole name of the game, is to help the consumers. Because without consumers, none of us have any jobs.
Yes. All right. So, where can listeners go if they'd like to learn more about IAQ as an organization and potentially becoming a member?
Okay, where they can go again is the www.iaqa.org, and you can go to the homepage, the about, and then the registration, or to join as a member. And like I went through all the other different member levels, they can choose which one would most suit them and go from there. And they can always call our 800, our tool free number, and talk to anybody there, and they will help them. And if anybody isn't sure, they can always call me. I'm not afraid to give my cell number out. It's 704-232-0077. I answer every call. I don't interrupt one call to take another. And because I figure if somebody has a question, it should be answered. And that's just the way I operate.
Thanks, Jay. Well, before we go, is there anything else that you'd like to cover that I didn't ask you about?
Yeah, I'd like to give thanks to all the volunteers. Without them, we would not be who we are. They give so generously of their time and energy, also to the board of directors. to association headquarters, AH. Our management company has been so helpful and beneficial to the association and our members. And it has been truly an honor to work with so many great people, and there will only be great things ahead for us. And as president of IAQA, there's a saying that holds very true to me, and it was stated by Teddy Roosevelt, the 26th president of the United States. Every man owes a part of his time and money to the business or industry in which he is engaged. No man has the moral right to withhold his support from an organization that is striving to improve its condition within his sphere. And for anybody that listens to this podcast or watches it, if they use the code IAQARR to register, you'll receive a $100 discount for our conference. That code again is IAQARR for the code, for a discount code, and you'll receive a $100 discount for our registration at the conference.
Thank you for that, Jay. Big deal. I hope you all got that. We'll also post it in the show notes to make sure that you get that code so that you get that awesome discount when you register. Thank you so much for your time and insight, Jay. Before we go, I'm going to ask one last time again so it's super clear for those who do want to learn more about IAQA's annual meeting and expo and register. Where do they go? And also, what deadlines are they working with?
Okay, right now it's just a regular registration. You can register clean up to when you go to the desk. Right now, for a member, it's $885. If they use that code, it would be the $785. And they can go to www.iaqa.org and then go to the expo, go to the registration, and it walks through. It's pretty simple. I even did it.
Well, thank you again, Jay. This has been great and super informative.
Well, thank you, Valerie. And nice
Absolutely.
talking to you.
It's been great. All right, listeners and viewers, for more insights on restoration, remediation, and the people behind it all, visit our website, randrmagonline.com, also Apple or Spotify. And if you haven't yet, be sure to follow the podcast to keep up with all of our latest episodes. And also, if you could give us a quick review and rating, we'd so appreciate it. We're also on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, so we invite you to follow us there too. This has been R&R's Ask the Expert. Thank you for listening.